All right, welcome to this episode of JB&A Today, the live edition. I'm gonna lie, because this is actually an on the bench episode, because we got gear to put on the bench and talk about as we roll into NAB. Now, NAB starts tomorrow, but we want to show you a little bit today of what you should go check out on the show floor. Okay, so with me I've got Ulysses from Mellanox. Now, if you don't know Mellanox, they make network switches and network cards and network cables to connect all that tissue together. But they're doing some pretty extremely cool stuff in their switches and their cables. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So first, Ulysses, give me the bullet point on who Mellanox is. Let's give me the official company statement.
Mellanox Technologies. Well, the company statement is we provide high performance computing equipment, end-to-end equipment connectivity. So we have network adapters, we have network cables, and we have the actual switches. You know, we started off with InfiniBand, and now we do Ethernet. We have been doing it for quite a few years now. So we got an end-to-end solution, and because we have the end-to-end solution, we can provide seamless and high-performance Ethernet functionality for the M&E space. Nice. And we can talk about that as well.
No, and when it comes to switches and the rest of the components, what separates you guys? So if you look at all the switch manufacturers out there, they're all using somebody else's chips inside.
Correct.
You guys make your own chips and even sell some to some of the other guys, but a few of them. And that's really what sets you all apart, right?
Yeah, that's our secret. It's part of our secret sauce. You know, we were an ASIC company. We provide our own ASICs. We started off with the Switch X family for InfiniBand. And we took the expertise and technology that we knew and we built so strongly for our performance computing and applied that expertise into the Ethernet side. So now we have our silicon Spectrum is the name of our silicon, and we can do a lot more. Now we're not restricted by the off-the-shelf silicon out there. We can do, our tables are a lot more larger size. They're you know, latency is much lower. We can do quite a few cool things.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So, I mean, so the things that you guys make, so you make HBAs, so this is the host bus adapter that goes in a computer.
Correct.
And then it has the SFP cages, so we can connect, you know, technology. And in terms of SFPs, you know, a lot of people gloss over these as an alternative to an SFP. If my computer is near the switch or within a relative reason, there's no point in buying the SFP and then the fiber.
Correct.
When you can get a dedicated cable, which typically is a lot less expensive.
Correct.
Has the SFP connector on the end, and this is what this would look like, right? We do a quick snap in. Correct. That's how we're going to connect the computer back in, or the server back into the switch. You know, and these are powerful little tools here.
Yeah, and they're very cost effective because, like as you mentioned, I mean they have the built-in transceivers, the SFPs. So you don't need separate SFPs. Normally you would need one on one end, one on the other, and then you have to buy the actual cable. So with that, we have different types of SFPs. We have the QSFPs, QSFP 28 for 100 gig, and we have can go down to SFP 28 for 25 gig, and SFP Plus for 10 gig. So there's many different things and different combinations that you can do with it. It is very cost effective, awesome, but like you also kind of alluded to, it's really mostly used, at least the copper version of it, within the rack, because you know, you're limited by about 5 meters, especially with 100 gig. But we do provide a optical version, an active optical version that can go 200-300 meters easy. With the same concept, you have the built-in transceivers, and you can run them as long as you need to.
So now you mentioned a couple of things. So a lot about what we're talking here is 10 gig and 25 gig and 100 gig and those, and which is, you know, becoming more and more apparent all the time. Earlier in one of today's shows, we had SNS on talking about their new DPX box that has a 20 gig and 5 gig interface on it. So I think most people are just getting into 10, but it seems like we've already jumped to 25 and 50, 100, which is why I want to talk about this box down here.
Yeah, this is our SN2100. This is our half-width box that has 16 100 gig ports. The neat thing about that is that each 100 gig port can be used as a 40 gig port, or it can be broken down into 250 gig, each port, or 250 gig, or 425 gig, or 410 gig. So it's the ultimate flexibility. If you break it into 25 gig, or if you break it into 10 gig, you can have up to 64 ports just in a half-width.
Okay, so yeah, that's amazing. So 64 ports of 10 gig.
Or 25.
Or 25 gig at half a rack width.
Correct.
That's amazing, because nobody's got to switch that size. I mean, they're always, you know, that's 2 RUs full across with most manufacturers.
Yeah, well, think about it. If you have a second one right next to it, and we provide a mounting bracket so that I can use one RU. Now you can have up to 128 within one RU of 25 gig or 10 gig.
So just as an example, here is the QSF FSFP port. That's what's going to go inside of here.
Correct.
And there are the 410 or 25 gig ports.
Correct.
And this one looks like, what is this one?
That's a QSFP 28, which is 100 gig.
Oh, that's
to the
yep.
25. So you were correct.
So that's 425. So one port can feed 4 servers.
Correct.
For and then you would use the active optical one to go out to
even further.
Yeah, to go out to
as
an
far as you
editorial
want.
station. So I think you guys really have an amazing story because if I'm doing mobile production and I'm working in a SMPTE 2110 environment, right? So I'm doing the SMPTE IP, I could have 64 systems connected, 64 sources going across this matrix. There's no SDI matrix this size.
No.
I mean, that's, there's nothing this size for SDI that's 64 by 64. That's really impressive. So from a capacity and a throughput standpoint, you guys have an amazing tool set here.
Absolutely. And imagine, like I said, if you have the second one, now you have 2 physical switches that you can do physical redundancy with and have a total of 128 ports.
And you could loop a 100 gig port to
Correct.
with the other unit to
Absolutely.
then
Yeah, you can
share
do
resources.
MLAG, virtual port channel. You can do for layer 2 purposes, and still maintain the 300 nanoseconds that our latency is 300 nanoseconds or less for any frame sizes, and that's part of one of the variables that makes it a great switch for storage and the M&E market.
No, that's really amazing. So when I met with you guys a couple months ago up in San Jose, the conversation wasn't about 10 gig, wasn't about 25 gig. It really wasn't even about 50 gig. It was about 100, 200, 400, and all the places you're going next.
Yes, we obviously do 100 gig now. The 200 is right around the corner next year, and there's also development work going towards the 400. That's pretty far into the future right now, but 200 is right around the corner. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
I mean, right now I want to sell what's in the truck right now, which is 100.
No, I totally understand. But it's funny to me because a couple of years ago it was like 10 gig. I don't know if I'll ever need that. And we're already on the cusp of 200. And most people thought I will never need it, but yet here we are with servers with 25 gig today. In operation.
And it's interesting because some people say, well, who's Mellanox, right? We never heard of Mellanox. Some people haven't heard of Mellanox, and part of the reason why is because we've always played in the high performance data centers, computing. We really didn't want to reinvent the wheel back in the regular enterprise area. So we really worked on building infrastructure that provided high performance computing, and we started off with InfiniBand, and now we're doing with Ethernet, and now we're getting a lot more light towards our products because the M&E, specifically 4K and 8K, demands it, right? And so we've been doing this for a while. But now it's coming to fruition as far as how the performance.
No, you guys were ahead of the curve. Now everybody finally caught up and said, "Oh, we need what you have."
Yeah, and now we can do what we used to do in InfiniBand. Well, we still do InfiniBand, but now we can do it on the Ethernet side.
No, that's really amazing. So you guys are all over the show floor at NAB. You're in multiple booths, partnered with other
A
manufacturers.
lot of storage vendors. Yeah,
a lot of storage vendors. So I'm really excited to see that. It's going to be a good year for you guys. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. I think things are looking good. I do want to mention that we have another version that just came out last month. Very similar form factor. It's the SN2100, and that one is a lot of the storage vendors are excited because it has 18 ports of 25 gig or 10 gig, and it has 4 ports of 100 gig. So it looks exactly like this, but we broke down the ports to SFP 28s, and so now they can actually have 2 or 3 or 4 high performance storage arrays for the M&E purposes, and have 2 of these all in one U.
Yep.
And very affordable.
So those become the Leaf, and then everybody else connects up to the 10 or 25.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice.
Nice. No, that's really impressive. All right, well, dude, thank you. I will take good care of this at my
Sounds
house.
Good.
This one's coming home with me on that side. No, that's good stuff. All right. Hey, everybody. This has been JB&A Today Live. This is Ulysses. Thank you so much for coming out and bringing the toys. Catch him on the show floor at who knows what booth because they got so many. But go see what Mellanox has to offer, and we will see you all on the next episode of JB&A Today Live.
Thanks.